Hey ladies, welcome back. If it's your first time joining me, hey boo, I am glad to have you. I am Ty Harris, founder of Total Love Makeover, and I've gotten myself in the habit of helping women identify their relationship shortcomings and the mistakes that they make so that they don't make them and they start to attract and keep the kind of love they really want. Today we are starting a 3-part series on identifying who it is you want versus what you want. We women, we typically have lists. I want him to be tall. I want him to be handsome. I want him to have a job. Girl, he gotta have his own car and his own house. All of those are fine, but they're what's. And what's, they don't really sustain relationships. It's important to know who you want versus just what you want. The key to finding out who it is you want is really identifying who it is you are. And to me, this is best broken down in 3 separate parts: your core essentials, your non-negotiables, and your desirables. Today, we're going to be discussing your core essentials. What your core essentials do is they will show you right off the bat who isn't going to work. It's like when you go to the doctor. They're not necessarily looking to discover what's wrong with you. They actually first rule out what you don't have in order to come to a diagnosis. Our core essentials are like that compass for us. If we identify these for ourselves, we'll know right off the bat who's not going to work. So, to discover your core essentials, you only need to ask one question. What is it that I absolutely cannot tolerate? We're not talking about a surface answer like, oh, I can't stand when people suck their teeth and I really can't stand when people drive slow on the freeway. No. When you ask yourself, what is it that I can't tolerate? You want to explore the things that make your blood boil. These are the things that if you see happening, everything in you rises up to take a stand. So for me, I just cannot stand to see someone that is not able to care for themselves be taken advantage of. I also don't do well in situations where one party or an organization are very limiting and judgmental in their thoughts of what somebody can do. Like, for instance, oh, you can't do that because you're a woman. And lastly, I absolutely abhor when somebody finds pleasure in someone else's pain. So what does this mean in terms of dating? Once you answer this question for yourself, you're able to really identify who you are. Now that you know who you are to the core, you know who you cannot be with. This helps you clearly identify the guys who are going to be like a cancer to you. I knew once figuring out my core essentials, if I were on a date and there was somebody that made fun of the waitress or waiter because they seemed to be having a hard time, that was a red flag for me. If in our conversations I found that they didn't really respect the elderly or children or disabled people, and in fact it sounded almost like they did take advantage of them, that is a red flag for me. If we're having a discussion and he's like, yeah, well, to me, I don't think women should be paid as much as men, or this race or that race, those are all red flags to me. And because this is the core of who you are, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna fit. Once those rose-colored glasses come off, you may find the person you put yourself in position to fall in love with, you don't even like. So if you see a guy display or exhibit signs of the antithesis of what you stand for, you gotta know, if you stay with him, winter is coming. I love Game of Thrones so much. Well, I hope you will ask yourself that one question and identify your core essentials so that you know who it is that absolutely will not work for you. Now understand, even though there are 3 parts to knowing who it is you want, your core essentials, they are not to be trumped, because at the end of the day, this is who you are down to your core, and that's not going to change. Well, I hope this episode served you. Make sure you subscribe because there are 2 more parts coming to this series and you don't want to miss them. If you like this episode, please make sure to like it. This might be something you want to share, and I'd love it if you did. If you haven't been over to totallovemakeover.com and joined the mailing list that I call the dressing room, please do that too, so you will always be in the TLM know. You can have the love that you want. Sometimes you have to do something different in order to get something different. And if you're willing to do the work, and I hope you are, I am more than willing to help you get there. Until next time. after you say that witty comment and you're making sure you smile, you throw in an unexpected comment and then drop the mic and let it linger.